Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is April, and in today's video I'm going to be ranking all the eyeshadow palettes that I tried in 2022. Now I know I'm a little bit late in doing this video. I'm so sorry. I did mention in previous videos that I was sick and I'm still trying to get over my sickness, but I'm feeling a little bit better. Well, I'm feeling much better than I have been, let's just put it like that. But yeah, you guys, I have a lot of eyeshadows that I want to rank in today's video. I do have eyeshadow palettes that I had to roll over into 2023 just because I wasn't able to try it in 2022. I do have eyeshadow palettes that I bought this year but necessarily didn't come out this year, so just keep that in mind. And yeah, we have, I think it's 34 eyeshadow palettes. I know people have ranked like more than that, but for me 34 was a lot still. I don't know how people could use so many eyeshadow palettes in just the 1 year. It was very stressful for me. But yeah, guys, if you like this type of video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget, if you're not already subscribed, I would love if you subscribe to my channel. Now let's get into this eyeshadow ranking. Okay guys, coming in at number 34 of the worst eyeshadow that I tried in 2022, had to go to these. These are the Maybelline eyeshadow blocks. Not only did I get 2, but I had got 3 more, so I got 5 in total, and that was a big mistake. So my first problem with these is that when I used it, it just blended away to nothing. It was like, why waste my time putting on this eyeshadow if it's not gonna stay? Another thing is it needed 1 more eyeshadow. There's literally just 3. I think it needed like 1 more in between shade. For instance, this one is a matte white in the top one, and then the next one is a shimmer one. It's like a green, oh, you can kind of see it there, a green white shimmer, and then the last one is a dark green color. These were just awful. I didn't enjoy them, and for the price, even though this is drugstore, this was $14 or $15, and I just think that's ridiculous for this. I truly did not like these, and these are going to get out of my collection as soon as I'm done with this video. Coming in at number 33 is this eyeshadow palette from Dior. This is called the Dior Eyes Palette Backstage Khaki Naturals, I believe. Khaki neutrals. You guys, I tried to use this in a video and it was just not working for me. I didn't realize, well, I knew this was gonna have a little bit of shimmer to it, but when I put it in my eyes, it was just way too shimmery. It definitely needed some more mattes in this. And this like primer right here, I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell, but look at how disgusting that looks. Like the eyeshadow gets in it, and it just did not, like, I did not want to use it because it just looks so nasty. It grossed me out. But yeah, I did not like this palette, and for the price it even made it worse for me. So yeah, horrible palette. Coming in at 32 is this quad from Rowan, and it just looks like this. Now if you can get this on a deal, then go ahead and try it, because this has been all the rage from people and I just don't understand. But if you want to try it, get it on a discount. Don't get it on full price. I did find mine on BoxyCharm. I'm not a member, but BoxyCharm does this thing where you could purchase if you're not a member every so often. I forget how much time it is, but I went ahead and I picked it up for like $15-16. Even for that price, I don't think it's worth it. It just it was like nothing. Like, I wasted my time trying to put this on my eyeballs because it faded so quickly, and each shade has a different formula, so it just makes it even that much more worse for me. Like, I don't know, it's just something about this I didn't like, and I was so excited to try this because I heard everybody talking about it. It looks so pretty in person. I don't know if I said the shade that I have, but I have this color 1111, and yeah, I was so excited to try this, but for the price tag, I definitely don't think it's worth it. I would definitely pass. Coming in at number 31, I'm going to put these two together. They're both from the same brand. This is from Believe Beauty, and these are the eyeshadow palettes. I have 2 different shades. I have Love Struck is this one, and then Nearly Nude is this one. I know these are only $5, but even for $5, I just think there are other better drugstore eyeshadows out there than these. These did not look good on my eyes. They went so like more darker than they actually are in the pan. I was actually surprised, and I didn't enjoy the formula. But yeah, like I said, for $5, they're still not worth it. better drugstores out there. Number 30 is going to be from Give Beauty, and this is the Icy in color in the shade Just a Girl. Now, I forgot to mention in my Worst of Beauty video, because I did talk about some Give products in that video, I was surprised that I didn't like the majority of her products. Everything that I talked about from her brand is in my fails video. The only things that I thought were like, okay, were the lipsticks, but they weren't even worth talking about in my favorites because they just weren't a favorite. But I feel so bad because I really do like Gwen Stefani as a person and as an artist. I just don't really care for her brand. But anyways, I had to put this here. Again, it's just not what I thought it was. The colors when I put it on just did not look like this on my eyeballs. And the colors, I don't know, the story maybe for a quad, I just had a hard time working with it. I do have another quad that I'm going to talk about that I had such a better experience with, and it's more expensive. And yeah, this one was just not my favorite, unfortunately. Coming in at number 29 is this Huda Beauty palette. This is the Huda Beauty Love Fest Obsession. It just looks like this. Now, this is more of a color story problem for me. I don't really like orange on my eyelids, and I just felt like the orange and the purples didn't really go together good for me. I do like, which one was it? I think it was one of these. Like, it was either this one or this one. I swatched it, and then it swatched so nice, and I put it on my eyes and it looked good. The formula looks different from the actual, like when you look at it like this. Oh yeah, it was this purple one. It looks so nice. It actually looks more blue purple, but it's more purple. It's this one right here. But yeah, I really did like this one a lot. I just feel like the colors are just not my favorite, and I've seen this before from her, and yeah, it was okay, but it wasn't worth the price tag, or it just wasn't memorable to me. We'll put it like that. Coming in at number 28 is this little itty tiny bitty thing from Pat McGrath. I was almost gonna say Huda Beauty. This is called the mini eyeshadow palette Midnight Voyage. Now, this one has repeat shades from other, like the Mothership palettes, and I feel like the formula is not the same. I mean, it could not be the same because she's charging a little bit less than the Motherships. This is still a very pricey palette for the amount of product you get. This is almost $30, and yeah, I didn't really like it, and I have most of these shades already in the bigger palettes. I think these two shades are the new shades. Everything else is from Motherships, and yeah, I just still didn't like these. They weren't anything special, and I think for the amount of product you get, it was just way too much. Okay, coming in at number 27, I believe, yeah, 27. People might be a little bit shocked about this. I've seen a lot of people like this palette, but for me, I just did not really care for it. And I am talking about Huda Beauty again. This is the Empowered palette. I am not a fan of her formula. I'm just going to be straight out with you guys. I prefer Natasha Denona formula. I prefer Pat McGrath formula. There's other formulas that I prefer more than Huda Beauty, and I just feel like for the way her formula is, it's a little bit overpriced. This one wasn't my favorite to work with. This looks like all the other palettes she's came out with. I feel like all these colors right here look the same. Like, there's not much of a difference in this palette. And these two creams are horrible. I try to use this black one as like an eyeliner and eyeshadow, all kinds of stuff, and it would just get everywhere. Every time I would use it, it just looked like I had raccoon eyes, and I did not like that. And I wish she would have had one of these gold colors out of the palette and put something different. I already don't like this type of gold on my eyelids, so it just didn't look good on me. I just need to stop buying her palettes because I just do not enjoy any of her palettes. I'm trying to think if there's like one palette that I really like, and I just don't. Yeah, I just feel like it's overpriced for what it was, and they all look the same. Coming in at number 26 is the Glam Light and Michaela, the first palette. I have the second palette, part 2, but I haven't used it yet. It's in my stack of eyeshadow palettes that I have to try this year that I rolled over from last year. But yeah, this is the second eyeshadow palette that they did, and this one, you see me in the video try to use it. The mattes were just not blending in for me. They were patchy. Every time I would try to like put a color on top of another color, it would just fade away. The only ones that I liked in here were the shimmers. So if this had more shimmers, then this would probably be ranked a little bit higher, but it's gonna stay right here. I didn't really care for the formula on this one. Okay, coming in at number 25 is this palette from e.l.f. and this was part of the Cookies and Dreams collection. It just looks like this. Now, I know it's not anything special, but I could still make it work. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. It was just an in-between palette. I do like this palette more than the other palettes that I have ranked so far, but I had to put this palette somewhere, and this is where it ended up. It's not a bad palette, but it's not great. Okay, coming in at number 24 is from Lunar Beauty, and this is the Nude Prism palette. Now, I actually got this on BoxyCharm for $30 because I ended up getting a box from like a previous month, and this is the reason why I had got that box, because I wanted this palette because I heard so many people talk about this palette and I really thought I was gonna like it. But here's my thing with it. I like the shimmers, but they're not as good as I thought they were gonna be. I prefer the shimmers in the Michaela palette more than this, and every time I use this, the colors just look off. It's something about this color story that doesn't suit my eyes well. I don't know. I think it's mainly this bottom row right here. It's throwing me off. Like, you got a peach and a pink, and then you got these darker tones. I just feel like the color story is, I don't know, it's just weird to me, and every time I put this on my eyelids, it looks weird. I don't know, it just looks weird. But yeah, I was so disappointed. I was so excited to get this palette, and it just wasn't what I thought it was gonna be. At number 23 is ColourPop and Star Wars palette. Now, I forgot which one this was, like what the name of exactly is, because it doesn't say on here, but it was part of the Star Wars collection. Now, let me tell you right off the bat, I'm not a Star Wars fan, so I didn't get it because it was Star Wars. I got it because, well, I kind of did, because I like the packaging right here. This is like the old school Star Wars. I do like this. I do wish this was in the front of the palette rather than this being in the front. This isn't a bad palette. The quality is really good. The formula is very, very good. It's the color story for me. I don't like reds and I don't like blues. And I thought these two, like, what are they called, like the oh my god, the Super Shock shadows, because that's what these are. These are Super Shock shadows. I thought they were going to be a little bit different, like the color. I wasn't expecting this one. I thought this was going to pull red on me, and it's more of a burgundy color. So, and I don't have burgundies in here except for maybe this one, but I don't know. I didn't, personally for me, I didn't like it. Like I said, the quality is not bad. It's just the color story for me. At number 22 is the Patrick Ta Major Dimension eyeshadow palette, I think it's called. Yes. And this is the first one. Like I said, I have a second one, but it's in my pile of eyeshadows that I had to roll over to 2023 because I didn't have enough time to try that one. But this is the first one. I did get the first one and second one about the same time. I actually got this one first, and then literally a couple days later the second one came out. So I ended up trying this one first, and this one, it's okay. Like, I didn't even bother using the creams because I already know I'm not gonna like them. But I just feel like for the price, it wasn't the best. I actually prefer the Makeup by Mario one over this, even though that one has all mattes. But yeah, I just was nothing special about this one, and I like the color story, and I thought it was gonna be better, but it was fine, but not my favorite. Okay, coming in at number 21, I have a quad from Charlotte Tilbury. This is called the Luxury Palette of Pop's Pillow Talk, and it just looks like this. This is an all shimmer palette, and the reason why it's here is because, of course, it's an all shimmer palette. But not only that, the colors just all look the same to me, and I didn't like the way it looked on my eyes. Even when I tried to mix it with other eyeshadows, it still didn't look great on my eyes. And yeah, I might as well just swatch the other one so I can show you guys. I just look at, see, it's nothing special. And for the price, I think it's just overpriced. It's $53. Well, I shouldn't say it's overpriced because I'm going to talk about another one of these that I liked a lot. And it just depends on which one you prefer in color story, but I would just recommend going in store and looking at them so you could decide which one you want. But this one was just not great for me. Okay, you guys, we are getting into the top 20. Coming in at number 20 is Natasha Denona and the Pastel palettes. Now, I thought this was going to rank more in the bottom, but this is where it landed. And for me, this is good quality. It's just, the reason why it's here is because of the Pastel palette. But I do wish that these pastels were a little bit more vibrant. They're a little bit lackluster is what I want to say. The shimmers are okay, but like I said, I would have liked it to be a little bit more poppy. And yeah, I mean, it's not a bad palette. I just wish it was more of a banger for me, you know what I mean? But the formula is still the Natasha Denona great quality. Coming in at number 19 is this eyeshadow palette from Revolution. This is the Ultimate Nudes in the color dark. It just looks like this. I liked it. It wasn't bad quality. It was good, and it's a reasonable price. It just landed here because I have other ones that I like a little bit more than this. But if you could get your hands on this, I highly recommend any one of these like that comes in this kind of packaging. Just pick a color story. I think you would really enjoy it. This is what I would rather pick up than getting the ones from Maybelline. This is better quality than this, and you can find these at like Target too and Ulta and wherever Revolution is sold. You could get this. Coming in at number 18 is from Beauty Bakery, and it's the Chosen Bun eyeshadow palette. Again, nothing wrong with this. I just like eyeshadows a little bit more than this. I will say I prefer the shimmers a little bit more. I do like the shimmer formula in this, but it's just a basic neutral palette. Nothing special about it. But I really did enjoy this palette. Coming in at number 17 is a palette from Too Faced, and this is the Better Than Chocolate palette. Now, not a lot of people liked it. I will say it's a fine palette. I wouldn't necessarily pick this one up over the other ones that I'm about to talk about, but I still did like it. It wasn't bad. The shimmers are just a little bit, you know, not as poppy as I would like it to be, but the mattes worked great. They were blendable. They were easy to work with. Yeah, it wasn't a awesome palette, but it wasn't bad. Coming in at number 16, I have a palette from Natasha Denona. This is actually one of her minis, and this is the mini bronze palette, and it just looks like this. Now, I will say, again, very great quality. It wasn't bad. I will say I would have liked maybe this one to be out and keep this, and maybe something different from this. This definitely needed like a inner corner highlight, a brown bone highlight, like something different. I just feel like these two end ones are a little bit too similar to each other, and this one we really didn't need to have in the little palette. But yeah, I did really like this. The quality was good. Not bad, especially for the price. This is $27. Okay, coming in at number 15 is a semi-new palette. This was from Natasha Denona, and this is the Retro Glam palette. Now, I will say not a lot of people like this palette, but I liked it, you guys. I will say the formula is good, but the color, it's a little bit lackluster, and I wish they were a little bit more poppy and a little bit more different, and as far as being so similar to one another. I don't know why I cannot talk. So for instance, this one and this one, they're a little bit too close in shades, and this one are a little bit too close, and this one. So yeah, I just wish the colors were a little bit different from each other. But again, this palette was not a bad palette. The quality was really good. And I think I did mention in the video when I did review this, if you have the mini retro palette, you don't need this. It's either one or the other. So don't go out spending all your money getting both, because I don't think you really need both of them. But again, not a bad palette. The quality is good, and I really enjoyed this palette. Okay, coming in at number 14, I have the palette from Melt Cosmetics. This is the Gemini palette. It just looks like this. I believe this is the new one. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. It just looks like this. Now, I will tell you guys, I haven't used it that much, but this is the great Melt Cosmetics formula. I've said it before, some of her formulas are hit and misses. This is one of the good ones. I do like the color story. Like I said, I like what I got from my looks. That's what I meant to say. And yeah, it's just really good. I will say the shimmers, they're okay. They're like regular shimmers. I feel like for the price you pay, it doesn't add up. You know what I mean? I just feel like her products are a little bit overpriced for what they are. Okay, number 13 is a little bit of an older palette, but I did just barely try it in 2022. I am talking about the ColourPop Wild Nothing palette. I really did like this palette. Now this kind of does remind me of the one from Natasha Denona. Would I say this one's better? No, but it is still really good, and for the price it's really good. The shimmers were amazing, and yeah, I like the way my look came out when I used the palette, and it really surprised me, and I did enjoy this palette. Okay, coming in at number 12 is another older palette, and I did just barely try this last year, I'm sorry, in 2022, the beginning of 2022. I'm talking about the ColourPop Star Wars Mandalorian palette. It just looks like this. Again, I like the color story, the quality was good, and I got this, like I said, I'm not a big Star Wars fan. Like, I don't even know if I watched any of this. Yeah, I have watched Star Wars movies. I'm like, have I watched any of them? But yeah, I have. I only got this because my nephew, he's a big Baby Yoda fan, and this just reminded me of him, so I had to get it. But this is very sentimental to me. The packaging is cute. I really like the packaging, and the color story is good, and the quality is good, and yeah, I just like everything about it. Like, I'm trying not to blind you guys, but Baby Yoda's right there, and yeah, it was just a really good palette, and this is definitely something I'm going to have in my collection for a very, very long time. Coming in at number 11 is Glamlight and Michaela. This is the smaller eyeshadow palette. This is from the Part 2. This is the 10 color palette story. I will say I like this one better than the bigger one from the first collection. The shimmers were freaking amazing, and the mattes were really easy to work with. They can, you know, go on top of one another, which I really liked, and I wish the first one did that, but unfortunately it didn't. But this did, and for the price, it's really good. I think this was like $17, maybe $20. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I really did enjoy this one, and I cannot wait to play with it some more. Okay, guys, we are in the top 10. Can you guys guess what my top 10, my top 5, my top 3 are? Let me know in the comments down below what you think my favorite eyeshadow palettes were for the year of 2022. I would definitely love to know. But coming in at number 10, might be a shocker to some people, but I am talking about the Makeup by Mario. This is the Ethereal Eyes palette. Now, people didn't really like this. I did like it. I will say this is overpriced. There are other eyeshadows that you could use to get similar looks from this palette. But for me, I really did like this palette. I wouldn't say to, you know, go out and spend your money on it necessarily. But for me, I really did enjoy this. The shimmers were good. I did like, well, not even the shimmers, the special shades, they were good. And the metallics were also good. The mattes were, they were okay. They were still good. I know a lot of people had trouble working with them. I didn't have trouble working with it, so that's why this is ranked where it's ranked. But yeah, I just feel like this is just a little bit overpriced for what it is, but it is still a really good palette. I really did enjoy it. Coming in at number 9, I have another Natasha Denona mini. This is the mini Biba palette. Just looks like this. Now, I really like this one a lot. I think out of all the minis that I have in my collection, this would be my second favorite. My very favorite one out of the minis would be the mini nude one. But yeah, I did like this color story a lot. I wish they had one more shimmer, like maybe getting rid of, I don't know, it's hard to say which one I would get rid of because I like all of these in here. I don't know. I don't have to think about that. But I definitely think they should have got rid of one of the mattes in here and put another shimmer. But yeah, I really did like the quality of this. And the color story is nice. I was able to get a cohesive look. And yeah, for being a mini, it was really good. Now, coming in at number 8, I can't really pick this palette up that much because one of my eyeshadows is broken. But this one is from Sigma, and it's the new Mods palette. I like this one. Again, not a lot of people really cared for this one, but I enjoyed it a lot. I like the shimmer. Oh, I'm so nervous it's gonna break. But yeah, I like these ones right here. This one's broken. This one I like. I just love this. I love the color story. I like the shimmers. I like the mattes. I will say Sigma I feel is a little bit overpriced for the products, but regardless, I still really like this palette. I don't have many eyeshadow palettes from Sigma, but out of the ones that I do have, I think this is definitely my favorite. I mean, you probably guessed why it's my favorite, because these are definitely my colors right here. I could definitely work with this, but yeah, not a bad palette whatsoever. Coming in at number 7, I have a quad. I cannot believe I'm ranking a quad so low, but this is from the Pillow Talk Dreams collection from Charlotte Tilbury. Just looks like this. You guys, this is my favorite quad from Charlotte Tilbury. This performed beautiful. The quality was good. The shadows were nice. The color story I liked. Like, I was able to get a really nice look out of this. You would think that this wasn't going to be able to get a good look out of it, but I definitely was able to do it. And yeah, I really did enjoy this quad. Like I said in the other quad that I was talking about, they're a little bit overpriced for what they are, but if you could get this like on a discount, like the 20% from Sephora, I would highly recommend getting it. I really did enjoy this quad a lot. I really did like it. Coming in at number 6 is a Mothership palette from Pat McGrath. This is the Mothership number 10 Moonlit Seduction palette. Now, I know a lot of people did not like this palette for whatever reason, but you guys, I think this is my favorite Mothership palette that she's came out with so far. This is what the color story looks like. Can you guess why this is my favorite? This is the type of color story I do like. I did enjoy using this palette. It was easy to work with. The mattes were easy to work with for me. The special shades were nice, and yeah, I just love everything about this palette. I'm so happy I have it. The only thing I'm sad about is that mine's came up a little bit beat, so I'm trying to keep it intact because I don't like to throw away my packaging just because they're so pretty, and yeah, I just keep them all together. I think now I just need 2 more of the Mothership palettes. I'm like, oh, I think it's, which one is this? This is number 10. I forgot. It's either 4 or 6. It might be 6 that I'm missing, and is it 4 and 6? I don't know. I'm missing one of them. I'm 2 of them. I'm sorry. I'm missing the one that's all shimmer and then another one. But yeah, I think I might get one more. I'm probably not gonna get the one that has the all shimmer just because I know I won't use it, and I don't want to just get it so I can use it with another palette. But I don't know. Never say never. We will see. But regardless, I really did like this palette a lot. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I love this one so much. Okay, you guys, we are down to the last 5 eyeshadow palettes. Oh, so excited. Let me know, what do you think I have at 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1? I would love to know. I am so excited. I kept on going back and forth, like putting what palettes I wanted in what order, and yeah, I'm really happy with my top 5. I really love these eyeshadows a lot. But yeah, let's go ahead and finish off with the top 5 eyeshadow palettes. Coming in at number 5, I recently tried this brand out actually in 2022. This is the first thing that I purchased from them. I am talking about Lethal Cosmetics, and this is the, I believe it's called like the Flower palette, or the Night Flower Pressed Powder palette. Yes. Again, can you guess why I love it so much? Because of the color story. Look at that. Oh, it's so beautiful. Now, I haven't used it that much, but from the time that I have used it, oh, guys, this palette is so freaking amazing. The powders are great. They blend like a dream. They're beautiful on the eyes. The shimmers are amazing. Let me go ahead and swatch a couple for you so you can see what I am talking about. I'll swatch 3, but oh, look at that, you guys. It is so nice. I'm trying to see which ones I swatch. I want to swatch this blue one right here, but look at that blue. It's so pretty. Yeah, you guys, I really enjoyed this palette, and I cannot wait to buy some more stuff from Lethal. I am trying to do like a low buy until closer to the end of the year, so we will see. Maybe for like a Black Friday I could pick up another palette from them. But yeah, I really did enjoy this, and the formula and the quality of this is freaking bomb. I highly recommend checking this brand out. They are an indie brand, but yeah, this was a really good palette. Coming in at number 4 is a palette from Tarte. This is the Man Eater palette, After Dark palette. Just looks like this. I love the packaging. This is so cute. And the look at this. Oh my god, it is so pretty. Now the reason why it's ranking at number 4 is just because I haven't played with it as much as I would have liked to have played with it in 2022. I almost thought this was going to be number 1, but I was like, no, April, you haven't played with it enough to rank it at number 1. Don't do that. So this is where it came to be at number 4. But yeah, this is great quality. I highly recommend, if you haven't checked out Tarte before, to get this palette. It's just good. The price was good on it for the amount of product you get and for the amount of eyeshadows you get. And yeah, I just really did enjoy this, and I have made it my goal to use this palette more in 2023 just because this was a great palette. I highly recommend it. Bomb palette. Okay guys, we are in the top 3 eyeshadow palettes. Coming in at number 3 is from a indie brand. This is from What's Up Beauty, and this is the Geodes palette. Just looks like this, and this is what the palette looks like. Now this is ranking at number 3 because, number 3, right? Yeah, number 3. It's ranking at number 3 because the shimmers in here are so good. The mattes are really good as well. But the only reason why it didn't rank like at 2 maybe is because of the color story. It's a little bit all over the place for me, but I just, this palette, I cannot wait to try more from this brand. And yeah, I just hope that they come out with more palettes that are more like what's the word? Like they go together. You know what I mean? Like this does go together, but I just feel like it's just missing some more shades. I don't know what. I can't put my finger on it, but like I said, the quality is not bad whatsoever. I really did enjoy it. I really did enjoy the looks that I came up with this, and the eyeshadows definitely stayed on my eyeballs, which is an A+ for me. Yeah, I just love this palette, and I cannot wait to try more from this brand. Okay guys, last 2 eyeshadow palettes. Coming in at number 2, I had to give it to Oden's Eye and Angelica Nyqvist. I think that's how you say her name. This is the Hela palette. Let's just start off with the packaging. Look how beautiful this packaging is. This is the actual eyeshadow, and then it came with this carton. This is what it looks like. I did do, I think, 3 or 4 looks. I'm not 100% sure how many I did. I will link it if I have enough room in the description box. But yeah, oh my god, you guys, this is such a beautiful palette. It comes with the mirror, and this is what the color story looks like. You guys, beautiful. This is not available. I forgot to mention that. I'm so sorry, but it has been discontinued. It was a limited edition palette, but oh, this is so nice. Now, I will say I made the decision, this is actually the second thing I've bought from Oden's Eye. I did buy one palette like a long time ago that I haven't used yet. And then I decided to get this because I know Angelica has made some bomb eyeshadow palettes in the past, and I didn't want to miss out on getting this one. But I've decided not to purchase from Oden's Eye anymore. So the 2 palettes that I have, that's what I have. And it's unfortunate because the quality is really good. I know Oden's Eye makes some really good eyeshadows, but just for some reasons, I've decided that I no longer support the brand. And I know I've said that before about other brands, and I've bought from other brands, but this time I'm serious about this brand. They really left a sour taste in my mouth, but besides the point, this is a really good palette. Angelica did such a good job. The only one I don't like is this last shade right here. It's called Complete. It was a little bit hard to work with, but other than that, this was freaking amazing. I will say I wish the pastel palettes from Natasha Denona was like this one right here. Oops, you saw my mess. Like this yellow one right here. This is a pastel, but it's like it has, like, look at that. That's a pastel, but look at how freaking pretty that is. I really did enjoy that one a lot. I could actually use it for a inner corner highlight if I wanted to use it. And then let me swatch this one right here. This is a multi-chrome. This one right here, like, oh, it is so pretty. I just really enjoyed this palette, and I loved the way my looks came out when I used this palette for my Ford looks, I believe. I will pop a picture of one of the looks that I did that I really did enjoy. But yeah, this was a great palette, and I really did enjoy it. And I'm so sad that this has been discontinued, and I'm sorry, you guys, but this was my second favorite palette of the year. Okay guys, you ready to know what my #1 eyeshadow palette was for the year of 2022? Oh, so excited. Can you guess? Leave your comments down below. Let me know. Don't cheat. My #1 eyeshadow palette has to go to Natasha Denona, My Dream Palette. You guys, this was such a beautiful palette. You could tell, like, look at, I've really used the crap out of this palette. I love it. This is the perfect palette for somebody who hasn't tried Natasha Denona palettes before. This has everything you need. It has a matte black, it has a multi-chrome, it has her cream to powders, it has some pinks, it has some, kind of pinky purplish colors, it has some neutrals, it has some cool tones. It has so many things in this palette, you guys. I love it. The only thing I will say about this palette is that the cream to powder formula wasn't my favorite. They could have been a little bit better, but they're not bad. I have tried better cream to powders from her palettes before, but yeah, this is such a beautiful palette. I would have to say, besides the black and the multi-chrome, this Serenity shade right here is beautiful. It looks like nothing special when I swatch it, but in the eyes, oh, it's so pretty, and I'm so excited and so glad I have this palette in my life. This is $69, but you guys, it is worth the price tag. She did an amazing job with this palette. I would have to say that this is something similar to what I would have chosen for like my perfect dream palette. It's similar but not as quite. I would change a few things, but I have no words for this. This palette was so good, and it was my #1 palette for 2022. Okay guys, that was my ranking, my eyeshadow palettes that I tried in 2022. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Did I have some of your favorite eyeshadow palettes in this? Did I have some of your least favorite eyeshadows? I would love to know. And this was hard. This was harder than I expected. This was my first time doing an eyeshadow ranking, and people make it look so easy, but this was definitely hard. I definitely had to switch it up a couple times. I literally switched it up just before I started doing this video. Enjoy this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget, if you're not subscribed, I would love if you subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.